Hi, class. This is Coach RJ, and we are now on the second part of our lesson for this module. Because for this module, we are going to talk about staffing and leading. So we were able to talk about staffing already, which is from my first video. So this is the second one, which is leading. So right after we already have established that when we talk about staffing, this is wherein we look for, we find, we evaluate, and we develop the right person who would be able to help us achieve the plans that we were able to establish during the planning stage, and we'll be able to do the activities that we were able to identify during the organizing stage. So now, class, after staffing is leading, of course, you already have the people who will be working for the activities that we have identified. The next thing or function or phase in the functional area of management is to lead those people. By the end of this discussion, we are going to discuss the nature of leading, differentiate leading to managing. We are also going to identify the various theories of motivation and the different styles of leadership. So first and foremost, let's define what leading is. So when we talk about leading, guys, according to Peter Drucker, leadership is a process of shifting your own vision to a higher side. This is wherein we raise a man's performance to a higher standard. We help them to build their personality beyond its normal limitation. So you guys should be able to see that when we talk about leading, leading is really selfless. Ba? Kasi nga, we are focused to that person. Okay, we are going to shift our own vision to a higher side. And how are we all going to be able to shift our vision to a higher side? By, of course, raising your people's performance to a higher standard. So, tutulungan mo sila para makapag-perform sila ng mas sakaya pa nila. And you will also help them as a leader to develop or build their personality beyond its normal limitations. So that's what leading is. Together with them, you are going to achieve the vision of the organization together. You're not only going to you're not only going to tell them what to do, but together with them. Gagawin nyo pareho. Okay, sabay kayong gagawin yon para ma-achieve niyo yung objectives na yon. So therefore, let's define leading versus managing. Okay, so during sa face-to-face classes kasi namin, what we normally do is we have a debate about this. So based from ano bang pag-uusapan during the debate. So in an organization, what do we need most? Is it leading or managing? So I'd like you guys to take a look at this visual presentation, and during our synchronous session, this is something that we are going to talk about. Okay? So based on your own opinion, what does an organization need? Is it leading or is it managing? So again, class, during our synchronous session, this is something that we are going to talk about. Okay? All right. So after that class, next thing that we are going to talk about is how do we keep an employee motivated? We already know that what leading is, right? So we have the people who were able to identify during the staffing stage, and we'll be doing the activities that we were able to identify during the organizing stage so that we will be able to achieve the plans, the goals and objectives that we were able to identify during the planning stage. Now, how do we keep this employee motivated? Okay. First and foremost, you guys might say, Miss RJ, salary. Mga compensation and benefits. True enough, that's correct. Okay. Yan naman yung una di ba, na nag-attract or nagmo-motivate sa isang employee. However, as we go through our PowerPoint presentation, you would know that there are other stuff that would actually motivate an employee to work. Okay. Aside from that, salary, of course, the employees are also looking for rewards. Again, not only we are going to provide them rewards like monetary rewards, but we also have non-monetary rewards. A pat on the back would be fine. Also, like mga gift checks, what else? Siguro, pwede din nating sabihin, additional leaves, Yan. Kasi ako, I'm also, ano ako eh, pro-leave ako eh. Kumbaga, if you have a leave, you should use it. Okay? Kasi mas okay na yung pag may sakit ka, ganyan. Of course, pag vacation leave, kung may leave ka, kailangan kuhanin mo yun. Kasi mas okay na mag-leave ka for a day para magpahinga kaysa bigla ka na lang mag-leave ng a week kasi nga nagkasakit ka. Yan. So, rewards. Aside from that, employees are also motivated with work and life balance. Okay, so of course, employees would like to, of pagka-log out nila, syempre, may iba rin naman silang ginagawa. They have a family, they have a kid, they have a spouse that they need to attend to. And syempre, gusto rin naman nila ng time for themselves. Okay, so yan ang mga importanteng kailangan ng isang employee. And of course, employees are also looking for training and development. They don't want to be stuck at where they are forever. They want to be trained, they want to be developed, the skills that they have. They want to also have a chance to lead their own team or train their own team. So as an employee, this is something that as an employer, this is something that we should also offer to our employee, training and development. Aside from this class, this motivation can also be put into theories. Okay, so tayo kasi meron tayong mga theories na sinasabi. Theories of motivation. Diba when we talk about theory, this is something that is not proven yet, but may mga studies na. Okay, so theories of motivation. Okay, when we talk about theories of motivation, this focuses on the mechanism by which we choose a target and the effort that we exert to hit the target. Okay, so paano nga ba pag sinabi natin na motivation, 'di ba? So this series of motivation, meron tayong tatlong i-discuss. We have another one pero hindi ko na siya nilagay which is the expectant theory because according to the article that I was able to read, mostly expectant theory is really hard to prove since hindi siya masyadong ginagamit sa mga organization. So therefore, we are only going to talk about the three. The operant conditioning, the equity goal, and also the last one, which is the goal theory, okay, equity theory and goal theory. So first and foremost, let's talk about the operant conditioning. Okay, when we talk about operant conditioning, this is wherein people are actually motivated with those things for which they are rewarded. Okay, so kapag for example, alam mo na merong mga rewards yung gagawing motivation mo, yung mga may rewards na gagawin yung mga work mo, ibig sabihin you will be motivated to do that. And then therefore, the other way around, kapag alam mo na papagalitan ka o there will be a punishment doon sa mga bagay na dapat mong gawin, of course, hindi mo na siya gagawin. So that's what operant conditioning is. Okay? Again, people will do things for which they are rewarded and will avoid doing things for which they are punished. So, kaya nga siya sinabing operant conditioning. So, umpisa pa lang, sasabihin na sa'yo agad na, o pag ginawa mo to, may reward ka. Pag hindi mo to gagawin, o kaya pag ginawa mo to, may punishment ka. So, that's what operant conditioning is. So, somehow, para siyang ano din, class, um, positive and negative reinforcement. Parang ganun din siya. Okay? So, mas, kunyari, pag sa school, di ba? Kunyari, instead, pag na-late ka, uh, siguro not sa school, siguro sa work na lang. Tingnan natin to. Okay? I'm not sure if you guys will agree, but I think this is a very good application of operant conditioning. So, pag sa work kasi, if you are late, babawasan ka ng babawasan ka sa salary mo. Kunyari, na-late ka ng 1 minute, there's going to be a deduction in your salary plus there's also going to be a warning kasi na-late ka. What if we do it like this? That's negative reinforcement. What if there's going to be a positive reinforcement? For example, if you come to work 5 minutes early, then there will be an additional salary for you. Okay, and then of course, it will be put in your 201 na lagi kang present, na lagi kang maaga pumapasok. So that's what positive reinforcement is, right? Okay. So the next one is equity theory. This motivation naman or theory is affected by the outcomes we receive for our inputs compared to the outcomes and inputs of other people. Okay, so yung naiaambag natin, okay, yung mga nagiging output ng naiambag natin versus dun sa output ng mga naiambag ng ibang tao. So that's what equity theory is all about. Kaya nga siya tinawag na equity. Okay? So tinitingnan yung output ng iba versus dun sa output mo. Parang ganun yung motivation theory na yon. Okay? And then the last one is goal theory, wherein people will actually be motivated or will perform better if they actually have a difficult, specific, accepted performance goals of objectives. So, di ba tayo, mas namomotivate tayo kapag medyo alam natin challenging siya, pero alam natin na kaya natin siyang gawin. That's what goal theory is all about. So, therefore, yung mga companies, what they do is that they tell their employees that this is what we want to achieve, this is what we want to do in the future. So if you perform better, then lalagyan nila ng operant conditioning, you will be able to do get this and that, di ba? Kaya nga kayo, meron tayong mga ano, di ba, high honor, highest honor, with honors, with high honor, tsaka highest honor, that's your goal. So therefore, pag alam mo na may goal ka, so mas magpupursige ka. It's going to be difficult, but with your efforts, ka ba, you would be able to achieve that goal. Okay, so that are the different theories of motivation wherein companies are actually using this so that their employees will be motivated. So we have operant conditioning, equity theory, goal theory. Okay, now class that we are done talking about the definition of leading wherein we make sure that we are helping the man's performance to a higher standard and build this man's personality beyond his or her limitation. And now we were able to talk about how do we keep these employees motivated, the people that we are leading, paano natin sila magiging motivated. So, syempre, kung gagamit tayo ng goal as a leader, kailangan sabihin mo, if we are going to do this, gamitin natin yung goal theory. If we are going to do this, mahirap siya, pero it would actually help our company grow and you will also grow. Diba? So, that's how we motivate the people that we are leading using goal theory. Okay, now, let's talk about the different leadership styles. Okay, kasi kung mapapansin nyo, di ba, you guys have different, marami kayong naging teachers na from junior high. Now, you also have different teachers sa senior high. And not only that, but you also have leaders inside your group. So, may iba't iba tayong type ng leaders. And I think you guys would agree na sa mga classmates nyo or sa mga teachers nyo, meron kayong mga teachers na mas gusto nyo yung the way he teach, the way she teaches, 'di ba? Kaysa dun sa isang teacher because they have different leadership styles, they have different way on how they transfer the knowledge. So therefore, let's talk about them. So, isipin nyo yung mga classmates nyo na yon, isipin nyo yung mga teachers na yon, and then tingnan nyo kung ma-identify nyo kung which type of leader are they. Okay? So, there are actually different types of leaders, but in this lesson, we are going to talk about the 5 different types of leadership. Okay, so we have the autocratic or authoritarian, the democratic or participative, the laissez-faire or the delegative, the charismatic, and the servant leader. So let's talk about the first one, which is the autocratic or authoritarian leader. So based from the word itself, class, di ba, meron na tayong autocratic or authoritarian. Okay, sorry. Okay, so based from the word itself, autocratic or authoritarian leader. Okay, so based from the word, authoritarian, authority. Di ba pag sinabi natin authority, laging he puts his step forward, parang he always puts or she always puts his or her feet on the ground. Yan, laging authoritarian leader. So it means to say, given the power to make decisions alone, so as an authority leader, siya lang lagi nagde-decide because he has the total authority. And because of that, he makes sure that he closely supervises and controls people. So medyo may micromanager. Kasi nga, tinitingnan niya maigi kung nagpe-perform ba yung mga tao ng maayos sa task nila, kung he or she is following the tasks that was given to them. And also, we have an example, which is Tony La Russa. Okay. So he actually won 3 world championships, 6 league championships, and 12 division titles during the 33 seasons where he was coaching his baseball team. So although ganyan siya, authoritarian siya, medyo mahigpit siya, kita nyo naman yung kanyang mga na-achieve na. He won 3 world championships, 6 league championship, o, diba? So, nananalo siya because of his leadership style. Okay? Next leadership style is the democratic or participative leader. Okay, so ang example natin is si George Washington. So when we talk about the democratic leader, it includes one or more people and the decision making. Kapag nagde-desisyon pala, nagmi-meeting, tapos sabay nagtatanong siya ng mga dapat nilang gawin. Kung ito pa yung dapat nating gawin, palagay nyo, 'di ba? Kasi nga, as a democratic leader, he or she wants you to participate in the decision making. Um, However, he maintains the final decision in making authority. Okay, so as I've mentioned, George Washington is our example, and he led U.S. to victory in the decisive land battle of American Revolutionary War. So George Washington was also the founding father who served as the first president of the United States, 1789 and to 1797. Ang tagal niya nag-serve. Okay, so the next one, ayan, naisip niyo na ba, class? Kung na-identify niyo na ba kung sino sa mga naging leaders niyo yung ganyan? The next leadership style is laissez-faire or delegative leader. Based on the word itself, delegative. Ibig sabihin, yung mga members niya, dine-delegate niya yung mga tasks niya because they want them to learn. They want, he or she wants them to learn and to have a participation in the decision making. So, laissez-faire is a French phrase for meaning let do. Okay? So, hayaan mo siyang gumawa. Okay? Allows people to make their own decisions. Leader is still responsible to the decisions that are made, and this style allows greater freedom and responsibility to people. However, you will need competent people around you or nothing will get done. Okay? 'Di ba sabi natin, when you allow the people to make their own decisions, whether it's right or wrong, at least if pag wrong siya, that person would learn from their mistakes and will turn out to be a better person after. Okay. However, of course, as a leader, if your members failed, it's also your failure as a leader because you will still be responsible for the decision that they were able to do. Kasi nga, this is fair kasi sabi mo, hayaan mo sila magdesisyon. So kapag mali yan sila, kasama ka din dun. Okay? May freedom and responsibility for the people. Kaya lang, to be able to make sure that you need that the job will be done, you need competent people around you. Kailangan, since you are a kind of a laissez-faire leader, kailangan kilala mo talaga yung mga tao mo kung talagang magagawa nila yung trabaho or hindi. Okay? Our example here is Warren Buffet. So Warren Buffet is actually, ayan, Warren Buffet. He is an American multinational conglomerate holding company that is headquartered in Omaha, Nebraska. Okay? Next one, class, is the charismatic leader. Ayan. Sino ba yung mga classmates nyo charismatic? Diba? How do we define a charismatic leader? One example is, of course, the President of the United States before, who is Mr. Barack Obama. He leads by creating energy and eagerness to people. As a charismatic leader, you have charisma. So he is well liked and he inspires people. And he appeals to people's emotional side. Kaya maraming gusto si Barack Obama na president kasi he is a very charismatic leader. Like, that people follows him, people admires him, like him, 'di ba? So minsan kasi there's a positive and negative charisma. So minsan pag positive leader kaya mga kagaya ni Barack Obama. Pag negative naman na charismatic leader na kahit ano na siya, sobrang kita mo ang BI-BI niya na. Pero ginagawa mo pa din kung ano yung mga gusto niya. That's what a charismatic negative leader is. Okay? And then the last one, class, is, of course, the servant leader. Yeah, find yourself in the service of others. Okay? Our example is, of course, none other than, oops, our example is none other than Gandhi. Di ba? Sabi niya, the highest priority of a servant leader is to encourage, support, and enable people to fulfill their potential and abilities. They help people achieve their goals and works for the people. He led India to independence and inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. Yeah. So, meron na ba kayong ano na divide nyo na ba? or na-identify nyo na yung mga classmates nyo kung anong klaseng leadership styles meron sila. So during our synchronous session, let's talk about a little the leadership style. I'd like you guys to think, ano kayang leadership style mo? And then we are going to share our thoughts during the synchronous session. Okay? So if you don't have any questions anymore, class, thank you so much. And I'll see you in our synchronous session. Okay? Bye.